and welcome back to my channel, and today we're going to be looking at some of the best video games ever made. So I want to start with Red Dead Redemption 2. So this game was launched in 2018 and is a prequel to 2010's Red Dead Redemption. So although we had to wait 8 years, it was definitely worth it. So it follows the sort of main protagonist as he deals with the decline of the Wild West and attempts to survive against various sort of rivals and government gangs and things. So this game was so successful at launch that it exceeded the lifetime sales of Red Dead Redemption within 2 weeks and generated $725 million on its opening weekend. So that's just 2 days, and that's just incredible to think about, really. So when playing it, you can actually really see why it's so big, because the graphics are just so incredible. It's just, you feel like almost as if you're in the Wild West. It's amazing. So people always compare it to the first Red Dead Redemption in terms of graphics, but I don't know if you can really do that, because the first one of course came out 8 years ago, or before the second one, and so much has changed. We've got so much better technology. Everything's improved so much. I don't know if you can compare them quite like that, but you have to say that the second one is of course a lot better than the first, which is why it's more successful than the first. I mean, that just makes sense, doesn't it? Saying that, however, the second one has amazing details which the first doesn't quite capture, and this makes the game so much more fun to play. Just little things, really, just even logos on various bottles, buildings, everything, just the little attention to detail that makes it feel so much more real is just so much better executed, and really it's a joy to play, and that's what these games are for, really. So it's, it sets out what it achieves to do, which a lot of them, to be honest, don't. You get stuck, they become stressful, you don't want to play them again. We've all been there. So this one was really amazing. So although there hasn't been an official announcement for Red Dead Redemption 3, we're all hoping there will be, and I don't know when it would be. We've just had, 2 years ago we had the second one, so it'll probably be a while yet, but I hope they do make a third one, and I think it'll be even more successful than the second one, to be honest. So the next game I want to talk about is one that I think everyone has either heard about or played, and it's such a big sort of cult classic now, and of course I am talking about Grand Theft Auto 5. So to give you a bit of history, so the first Grand Theft came out in '97, and it came out first of all on the PS1, which I guess seems incredibly long time ago, to be honest, but here we are, and has since gained like a cult-like following, I guess. Everyone you speak to has heard of it or has played it, and they always say it's great. There's been loads of stories in the news about it inspiring various sort of heinous deeds, and you have to make your own mind up about whether or not it's the cause of various violent activities. Lots of people say it is, but at the end of the day, it is just a video game. But it's the game itself that we're talking about today, so I don't want to get too deep into that. But the game itself, you take on the role of a criminal, and you want to get up the ranks and become like the boss, I guess. And in order to do this, you have to kill loads of people, run them over. There's different tasks you have to do, and they're all really fun, but they are a bit violent, to be honest. But that's the fun. So this GTA 5 was released in 2013, and it can be played from a third person or a first person perspective, and you can switch between it while you're playing, and that makes it so much more entertaining because you can watch your butt as you run, basically. So the game itself has won 11 awards since its initial release, and it's one of the most popular video games to date, and has generated more than $850 million within 24 hours of release. So basically, it was released quite a long time ago. It was released 2013. So we've all been waiting for Grand Theft Auto 6. But so far, there's just rumours, basically. But most people believe it will be released between April 23 and March 24. So we'll see. But if you haven't played it or you want to play it, you've still got plenty of time to catch up. before the next one's released, so definitely have a go at that. Okay, so this next game, I actually, to be honest, haven't played it. I've watched people play it, but I haven't played it myself. But so many people tell me how amazing it is, I had to include it. And of course I'm talking about Call of Duty Black Ops. This was initially released in 2010 as a first-person shooter game and was an instant hit. It sold 5.6 million units at launch. However, the game has had its fair share of controversy, from employees threatening to shut down the server for the players, to Cuba banning the sale of the game due to its portrayal of Castro. You know, there's different, okay, slightly more dramatic things than would normally happen, I guess, like Cuba banning the sale of it. But all publicity is good publicity, they say, and this definitely proved to be the point for this game. And you know, you can see how popular it is, and there's a new game that's going to be released this year, and that is going to take place in 1981 at the height of the Soviet-US tensions, and the player will be tasked with hunting down a Soviet spy who's infiltrated the US government. It sounds amazing. I actually might start playing it just because the storyline of this one sounds so good, and I actually saw the trailer and thought I must play that. So it's due to be released on the 13th of November, so we'll see soon enough whether or not it actually lives up to the hype, but I honestly think it will. Okay, so the biggest game this year was probably, I think, Last of Us 2. So this is the incredible sequel to the first game, and it follows on 5 years after the first one ended, and follows Ellie and Abby, who separately sort of transverse through this post-apocalyptic landscape. We follow their stories, we follow how they interact with each other at times, and it's an amazing experience. You know, it's won so many awards for the way it's been portrayed, for the graphics, for the soundscapes. It's amazing. And on its release weekend, the game sold 4 million copies. So it beat Marvel's Spider-Man, God of War. You know, it became PlayStation's best-selling exclusive immediately. And that is the most amazing thing ever. So if you haven't had the chance to play this game yet, I really, really strongly advise that you do. It's so good, and honestly, you feel almost like you're part of it. And it's really rare in a way that you get a story that's so compelling that you feel like you could be there. And they do it brilliantly. So please play it. I really can't urge you enough to do that. Okay, so the final one I want to talk about in this video is Uncharted 4. So this is another incredibly successful and popular video game, and it's developed by Naughty Dog. It was released in 2016, and in this action adventure game, you play as a third person controlling this character called Nathan Drake. And whilst it's mainly single player, it does have a multiplayer function with up to 10 other people can play with you, or maybe it's 10 including yourself. And it's a hell of a lot of fun basically. And you just sort of shoot things, drive things. You know, it's a story, but you have the assignments to do, and it's great. It's really fun. I absolutely love it. So within a week of its release, it sold 2.7 million copies, which made it the fastest selling first party PlayStation 4 game. So the game has won numerous awards, and it's really not hard to see why. It's so brilliantly done. And you know, at the moment, there's not a lot to do, let's be honest. We're in lockdown, so definitely, if you have the chance, go play it. And I hope you've enjoyed this video, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye!